how are your grades? I get this question all the time. You guys are so awesome and come into Help Lab and ask, how do I improve my average? So I wanted to break it down. There I am breaking it down. My favorite question, how can I raise my grade? The answer is it just depends. All grades are not equal, so I wanted to show you really quick. Let's see how fast I can do this. Order of importance. Number 1, your assessments. That's your unit tests. You can see here. Your graded work. That is your writing. And benchmarks or interims. Practice comes after that. So one of the things I see is you guys come into the Help Lab and say, I want to improve my grade, and then say, I retook my quiz 100 times. But that doesn't help because look, that's last on the list. So let's check it out. Here's the heavy part. The heavy part is in your instructional assessment area of the grade book. So here I just pulled a sample grade book. Let's see if you can see some problems here that could be addressed to improve their average. 1.16 graded assessment, they didn't do that one. That one's pretty heavy. So it's actually in the test grade section, even though it wasn't a test. Also, you'll notice that the assessment section has fewer grades, so they just end up being heavier. The unit test could be retaken and earn a few more points on that would help. But the biggest problem, the quickest response I would give if a student came in with this would be finish those grades, right? 1.16 and 2.03 were writing assignments. Maybe you don't like writing. I want to help you, but you can't leave them zeros because that's like a test grade. What about the practice? Look at this grade book idea, or this gradebook sample here. I see there's some missing stuff, so that would certainly be the first place to address. Just get that missing work done. You'll notice that discussions, little daily quizzes like 2.03 there are in the instructional practice. So instructional practice, that's like your daily grades. That's half your grade. Instructional assessment, that's your test grades. That's the other half. So half, but assessments are heavier because there's just fewer. So important assignments that we've had so far, check out this list. You'll see the red are your instructional assessments, the test grades. The last one that we had that was really big, you should all have completed because it's just going to be awesome help for you. Benchmark 3, Unit 1 test, Unit 2 test. We haven't taken Unit 2 test, but Unit 1 test was completed. 1.16, that was your personal narrative. That goes in the assessment, remember? And 2.03 comprehension questions, or just 4 little questions over Secret Garden. And then one that's coming up for you with that Unit 2 test is going to be that Secret Garden book review. Those are after spring break, but I put them up there because they're going to be changing your grade pretty heavily. In the daily grades, that's in the gray. Look, I kind of made it smaller and lighter. Discussion 1.13, actually I made that a optional grade because we were dealing with the crazy rosters that got swapped around. So if you did that, it really helped you. If you didn't, then I don't know, maybe you were still in Miss Swiss grade book. That was during that weird, messy time. 2.01 was required, and it was talk about a time you'd ever kept a secret. It was just easy fun. So posting on that discussion would get you 20 points there. The formatives start to add up. Those are worth 10 points each. And then your daily quizzes, look, that's last. So when you guys come into Help Lab, like I said, and you say, hey, miss, will you give me another chance on 2.07? Will you give me another chance on 1.13? I can do better this time. Sure, I sure will. And maybe that's great practice for your unit test, but it's not going to change your average very quickly. So check this one out with me and tell me what advice you would give to this student. If this student came into Help Lab and said, Miss, I keep working on my 1.08 quiz. I took that quiz innovation again and I got a perfect score, but it didn't change my average. Okay, well, that's awesome. Your grades look amazing. You're doing great, but if you're going to be Mr. or Miss Perfectionist and want to get it all the way up there, I would look at that instructional assessment. I see 1.18 test. Now you got to be there, which is fantastic. It was a hard test, but if you're really going for that big A, then you might try that one again and get that grade up to an A, because that's going to move your grade quickly. I don't see any missing work in the instructional assessment. That's fantastic. And then the next thing I might see, look, you've got 1.10, that little quiz. That's a B. That's not going to change your average much if you do that one. But those formatives are a little bit heavier, and if you are trying to get that perfect score, that's going to affect it. quicker. Make sense? You can kind of see it the way that the points are outlined there. This is a view that you get in your grade book. So just a reminder, check yours out. All grades are not equal. Focus on those low or missing assessments. Assessments are the most important. Next on the list of importance, low or missing practice grades. Anytime there's something missing, it's just going to hurt, right? If you've completed a formative late in USA Test Prep, you should make sure to notify me by email since those are hand entered once a week. And it is entirely possible that I could miss that if you get it in late. Come to Help Lab anytime. We'd love to see you there and just review this with you and make sure that we're all on the same page. Thanks for listening. See you in class, guys.